Did you know that using the term "because I said so" actually undermines your effective parenting skill? As a parent, you may be wondering, why should I give the why? Why should I give an explanation or a reason for my decision? Even though you have all the answers. Maybe it's not payday, maybe it's not the right time, this or that. And you just were like, I don't want to. And that, yes, you will get pushback. Yes, you will get resentment from your child. They won't understand. But here's the thing. Society is evolving. It's changing. You can see it in the children's movies.
Ever wonder why you feel the way you do? Well, get to know your emotions. When life gets you down, that's when sadness takes over. This is sadness. With a caring touch and a kind heart, sadness leaps into action to let you... I said sadness leaps into action. Sadness? Oh, sadness. Get to know all your emotions with Disney Pixar's Inside Out.
Inside Out. There's movie 1 and movie 2 now. There's Moana. There's Lilo and Stitch. And so all of these, even in the children's movies and even in their learning games within our education system, they are learning social emotional skills and how to express themselves. They are tiny humans and they have thoughts and feelings just like big humans, and they want to express that and they want to understand. And so it is very trendy right now to actually give the why, give the reason. So if they're like, hey, mom, dad, or whomever, I want to go do this. And you're just like, well, it's not payday yet. When payday comes, we'll review it. And if we have extra money, then we'll consider it. That's all the child wants. They want, an explanation, a reason. Most often, saying no to a child or denying them their request is in their best interest. And, there's a reason why there's a no and that. But the problem comes when we don't explain the why. In using the phrase, "because I said so," in parenting, even though the phrase is easy to roll off the tongue and we say it, culturally and socially, and that is like, oh, because I said so. That is the quickest way to shut down a conversation, and it does more damage. It undermines your effective parenting skills. When we use the phrase "because I said so," it shuts down the conversation so quickly that we miss that opportunity to teach good communication and to answer those questions and to give the child the opportunity to develop that decision-making skill set, that when the adult is not present with them and you're away doing something, that they can make a good decision. And so it's modeling and giving the reason, and it's teaching all those aspects of this is why. When this phrase "because I said so" is used inappropriately, meaning harshly, is like, "because I said so," the child, it shuts them down, it's offensive. And what this does is it causes more anger and resentment, and especially undue resentment. And they truly do not understand. And so don't be surprised if your little one does that and is like, they're just responding right back. And so that's where you get the pushback and the resistance. And it's like, oh, we're just going round and round and round. Explaining your decision does not diminish your parent authority. It actually enhances it. When the child asks the question why, the best thing to do is to honor their request and validate to them that they are being heard, that you're willing to answer that question. And so in answering the question, you're explaining your concerns, your doubts, basically the reasons why, all these other aspects and perspectives to think about when you're making this decision. And this is where the teaching moment comes in for the young one. It is okay to say no, and it's okay for that child to feel disappointed, and it's okay for them to understand why. And so once they understand the why, then we can get them on board with being more compliant with the request. If it's like, hey, no, we can't go to the park right now. We need to go pick up your brother from football. So, or it could go, backwards on you if you say, hey, no, we're not going to the park. No, we're not going to the park. No, we're not going to the park. And the child is screaming and wailing, why? And then after you have this back and forth conversation and, use all this energy, and then it's like, well, we have to pick your brother up from football. And then your small one says, well, why didn't you say so? They don't understand, the whole routine and what is needing to be done. Another situation that you may encounter is a younger child saying, I want to go outside and play. I want to go outside and play. And you say no. And they're like, well, why? A positive way to handle this situation would be you ask the child back. You say, well, what are we doing right now? And then you have them answer their question. They're like, well, we're getting ready for bed. And it's like, then as the parent, you could say, is it appropriate or is it a good idea to go outside right now when we're getting ready for bed? Then the child answers it and says, no, because it's bedtime. Now they understand why, as the parent, you said no. And you're eliminating any resentment, the anger, the outbursts, any of those negative behaviors that we don't want, because we want our little one to go to bed and to get good sleep. Another example would be with some older children, possibly teenagers. I did do some field research, and I asked some teenagers about how it makes them feel as individuals when the adult says, because I said so. And there's no reason, explanation, no further understanding. And these teenagers, they're like, I'm angry. I am so angry. I resent them. I don't want to do what they said. I want to ask why. I want to keep pushing the issue. And they just keep going because they don't understand. And the biggest thing is they said that they don't feel validated in what they're thinking or what they're trying to communicate. And so it leads to all these undue and unnecessary thoughts and feelings and resentments and that. And so if we as parents and caregivers, if we slow it down, listen to the question and say, okay, you're asking this. Here's my reason why. I'm concerned about this. I'm concerned about that. Things of that nature. An example would be if your young teenage child is wanting to go to a birthday party and you say no. And, based upon the information that they give you, it may not be complete. They're like, oh, I'm going to so-and-so's birthday party. It's Rachel's birthday party, and we're going to go to the pool, the city pool. And you're just like, okay, well, that's great and all. Well, what's the date? What's the time? Who's going to be there? Who are the adults? Are they going to have life jackets? Are they going to have all of this? And so, for the child, if we just give them, no, you're not going, they're going to say, well, why are you excluding me from the party and this and that? And it's like, if you can have further information and they give you the information that's found out, then the whole conversation can go a different way and it can be a yes. Slowing it down and making it more understandable and just answering the question why really pays off in the long term. It alleviates that grief and that heartache and it helps the child learn the proper decision-making skill set and how to make those good decisions and how to communicate in a healthy manner.